Today, I'm going to work on taking this crow that I had poured, oh goodness, several months ago, and I want to try to make a multimedia piece. So stay with me, and I'll be right back. Hello everyone, this is Billie. Welcome to Billie Holman Creations. Now, I just went through and picked out little bits and bobs of things I had that I might put on this piece for the crow. So as we go along, I'll show you what I have. Now, before I want to move things, I want to make some marks with a white ink pen here, just so I remember where I put things. We can always make some changes. But I've got these corner pieces. Now, I don't need to mark where they will be because that's pretty much an obvious. Now, these are just findings from Temu. I'll put those aside. Now, if you see these bigger pieces like I have here with the compass, now these were molds that Miss April had sent me. And there's a compass and some pretty good sized gears here. Now I can guesstimate where I'm going to put the gears later, but I do want to mark especially where I'm going to put the crow. Now I poured these with this aluminite casting resin from Michael's, and oh my goodness, something I've never tried before. This is the black. You can get it in, I believe, a tan and a white, but you mix it as quickly as you can, like not even 30 seconds. Pour it, and within minutes, I'd say a good maybe 10 minutes, and you can demold. I poured these rather thick, but it's very hard, very, very hard. And I did some, pour overs where I had to clean up edges, but that worked out just easy enough with the X-Acto knife and or my Dremel tool with the sander bit. So I believe I know where the moon is going to go. We can get rid of that, not the moon, excuse me, compass. This piece here, it says absolutely unique. So I wanted to throw a little bit of steampunk in here, but I want to make sure and mark some of these places, approximately where I'm going to lay them. I know this one's going to be pretty much down by the corner of the edge of the corner piece, and I'll show you what that is. I've got a key here. I wonder if I need to mark that. I'm wondering if I should glue some of these pieces as I go. So let me just pull this one down. This, you can see it, is a piece of big overspill from a pour I did that did not cure, and it's still very soft, but we're going to use it. So let me just sort of set those there. These flowers are from some of my Prima molds that I had done previously, and they were just hanging out in a little box, so I thought, well, let's move those or use those. A few more gears here from Amazon, or you can find them on Temu. I've got, this little mold was a fondant mold. I thought that was kind of cute with a little skull. It's a little apothecary bottle. More gears. Let's just put a dot there for the gear. And we'll try to move some of these. I think I can guesstimate a lot of these as we go along, as long as I don't paint over the little marks. But there's more of these flowers. Here is another piece of that soft resin. Let me see, I know that will fall, but I want to be sure. I've got my edge on here. Now this is just a black canvas that I got a set from Temu, of course, and I just painted it with black. I sprayed it with water first so the canvas would tighten up, and then I just painted it with black. I'll just make a curve there. And place these pieces on to see, for heaven's sakes, what I'm going to do with them. And there's more flowers. We're going to make sure you remember the big flower, Billie. The big flower. We'll paint over that. Here's the branch. I mean, these positions I don't think are going to change much unless I get them in crooked, or you know what I mean. Something like that. And the branch, if I can read my own marks later. Another flower. Another flower. We'll find a spot for that. If not there. Now, this flower, I want to leave this flower the same color. I just love that. I did that with, I believe that was Let's Resin Chameleon Micas, which turns to the blue and the purple, which is really pretty. I might paint that black or leave it alone, but everything is going to be black except for the crow. This was a diamond dot painting that cracked on me. It was supposed to bend and be a hair clip because there's the two holes right here, you know, for the stick to go through. So, you know, I buggered that up. Lord knows I can't throw nothing out. And the crow. So he takes up quite a bit of space. I want to put him, he said this here. I want to get him sort of positioned on this piece of soft resin. That might change, but at least he's all the way on there, and I'm not bringing him up much higher, so I can move that. Now, I've got an eye on him. This is an eye that my father had several because he was a bird carver, so these are glass eyes that were in his stash. I'm going to glue that on the eye area there, and we'll leave that alone. Okay. Now, this is just a piece of purple netting that comes, it's a plastic that comes on with your, you know, your vegetables or fruit bags or something. Heavens, why do I save those? I can't even tell you. But what I want to do with this is use that for texture. Now, I've never used any texture paste or of any kind, but this is acrylic modeling paste. There's no instructions, of course. This was like one of my Temu expenditures when I went rather nuts. And then I've got some bumpers because we want to raise some of these pieces so it doesn't look just flat. So first things first, and then I'll let it dry. So let's see if I can't tape this down and try to use that modeling paste. Oh. And you know, I should actually, where did I put my pen? I should actually, I'm going to make a curve here. And try not to go too far over this area, okay? Now this is all by guess and by golly. It seems like that's how I do things anymore. Get an idea and then wing it. Wing it the rest of the way. So I do have this clay tool here. It's in my little bit of clay stash. My daughter does beautiful work with clay, so I imagine that was one of her tools. So let's just open this up. Try not to open it all the way. If I can find an edge here. I have no idea how long this takes to dry. I'm clueless. Let's just cut half of it. Just cutting half of that open, okay? And see how this works. I want to try this because I do have some pretty cool stencils that I did get from, and I don't know if this washes off, if you should wear gloves, but I have some nice stencils that I did get from Temu. So let's get messy for a second. This is pretty fine, but it should give us some texture as long as I can get it into the grooves here. And I don't want to go too bumpy because I'm going to have things on top of it. So just get some of that done. So I'll be doing this. I'm going to pause you a second and then we can see what it looks like when I peel it off. Okay, so I'll be right back. If I can reach the camera, it's way up in the air because this is a big piece. You know, I have to say that was rather fun. Now there's a fold right here, so it pops up. I don't know if we'll get a lot of dimension there, and it's not going to be thick. There's a few thick areas because I did want to cover some holes that showed up. I'll try to wipe some of this off without wiping off the paint. The edges, I think this is where I could just blend that in maybe. I don't think that matters really. And let's pull this up. And I don't know if this is what, I'm sure it's water-based, but I don't know if I can wash off this piece and use it again for texture. But I'll let you know. Seal that. And let's just grab a corner or two. Ooh, we're going to have texture. Let's get this one. Get this one up. It'll be something. Oh, look at that. You know, it's different. A few weird spots, but I think that's going to be actually pretty cool. I might get a damp rag and try to wipe those edges off. And I'm going to go throw this in the kitchen sink. Is that a good idea? I don't know. I'm going to throw it in a pail and try to rinse it out. So let me pause you real quick and I'll come back to this. Okay, you know, I'm going to have to use this more often. I got a comment from Miss Gert from Gert Creates on my this last video I put up with the pipe cleaner flowers in the little cracked doll face pot, and she commented, "So you went down the rabbit hole." Well, Miss Gert, yes I did. That was with pipe cleaners, but now look what I've discovered. It's endless. All right, I'm going to set this up. Counter spot to counter space up here. We don't have much of because I've got supplies and things started and going everywhere. Let's get this bird. I want to glue that eye on real quick. Now, I have some E6000. And I know I've said it before. This is the premium. I picked this up because it had a pointy nozzle on it. And I do like E6000. I'm going to bring you down a little bit. This is not manual, so hold on. I did pause you there because I really jiggled it. Okay. Now, what I was saying, I keep going from one subject to the next. The E6000, when you use it on resin pieces, it doesn't mar or sort of dissolve on your piece. If it oozes out, you can just pull it, lift it. It is rubbery, but it holds firm, but you can lift it and pull it off of your resin where you don't want the glue. But I've used like the B7000 or super glue. If that oozes out, you've got a real, well, it kind of eats up the resin in, you know, around where it oozes out. So you don't want to use that. So let's go ahead, use this. I'm running out of these eyes. I don't know where my father got them. But I've got some beautiful bird carvings here at the house. My daughter has several. We've given away several. He is quite the carpenter. See now where I goobered that right there on the corner? When that sets up, I could just peel that section off. The rest will hold. So needed to do that for him. And let's look at this here. I'll glue some of these down. I might go out when I glue the bigger pieces of these down. I might go outside and do some, well, I don't want to do spray adhesive because that would get everywhere. Well, forget I said that. But here's a flower. Should we raise something? That gear looks kind of, let me find another one. We could raise that gear a little bit with the bumper, right? Now these are bigger bumpers. Now I got a big set of these. Are great for coasters and trays. 200 pieces. Cabinet door bumpers. Now these are in my Amazon storefront. If you go through, get to Amazon through that link, you'll see where I've divided. I've got categories for different products I use on Amazon. But if you keep shopping, you don't even have to get anything from my store. But if you go through my porthole, I guess you could say, that will, and shop for anything, it gives me a little kickback. So for those of you who've done that, I appreciate it very, very much. Now here I just have some odd sizes. Look at these. You can save these for stencils too. Huh? Save it all, Bill. So I think these are rounded. What else is in here? This is why my videos are long. I appreciate those of you who stay with me because I do, you know, get kind of carried away. Those are little, that's all I have of those. I better save them for something else. Let's just throw, I don't want that bumper to show through. But we could raise the key. Well, let's just raise this. We'll put the bumper on the on that. I usually glue those. That's got pretty good adhesive. Let's glue it anyway, just to be on the safe side here. Like I said, we're going to paint all over everything black and then try to highlight some pieces that we've painted. So, like, I collect everything. It's a matter of just using up all these bits and bobs that I've saved. Oh, we're getting glue out. It's oozing. Put your cap on right away or you're going to waste a lot of glue, Billy. All right. Let's get some of this on the key while it's oozing out. Put the lid on it. Put the lid on it. My mom used to tell us kids, or me and whoever was around, put a lid on it. In other words, that's enough talking. Put a lid on it. I like this key. Did I have it the other way? I did, didn't I? But I like it this way. We're going this way. Like I said, I can pick the oozy bits out. I put the glue on the wrong side. Oh my gosh, Bill. You never know with me, do you? Never know. Well, heck. Let's just flip it over. Duh. That's what we want. Get so excited. Just get so excited. That's going to have a little dimension. This is just a piece of the flowers. I should have lifted the key, but just a little glue. Hold it all down. The crow will be the last piece we put on because I didn't foresee having anything to, to lay on top of it. We're just going to fill this up. It's going to be half steampunk, half, I don't know what else, florals. Makes no mind though, right? It's just going to be a collage. Should we have it that way? Is that how we had it? Possibly. Glue, glue, glue. All right, so that's done pretty much. Can't really do much more until that paste is dried. I need to get more in there because it's just going to be in the middle where it dips out in under. There's a divot. Yeah. Now let's go. How did I have it? Just like that. And that saves us a little time anyway. Make sure that's down. Let those dry. What else? There was one other piece I was going to glue. Oh, I'm not sure if I'll use this diamond dot. But let's have it anyway. I was just going to put these gears on here and cover these holes. I could have dug out some buttons. That's an idea too. We'll save that for something, having to do with the seamstress. And I do have ideas for that. So I've done it before. I need to get going on Christmas ideas. And I'll show you some special gifts I like that I've done in the past that I think you might enjoy using resin. Once that's painted, it'll just look like wings, maybe. Don't know. All right, friends, I'm going to let all this dry up. And when the paste is dry, we'll be back and try to finish that off. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Well, this is dry now. So let's get on to painting and gluing. First thing I want to do is paint this piece here. There is texture. You can see it. It's not real prominent, but it's there. First try. This feels a little rubbery, this consistency of this paste, but I like it. Still have that dark seam down here, but I guess that'll be okay. So I'm just going to grab my, this is just Apple Barrel Gloss Paint Black. And I'm just going to get some in my little lid here. And get this painted real quick. And I think we can work around this while this dries. It shouldn't take too awfully long. Well, I think I've got all of it, but it's hard to tell whether that's a little bit of white coming through on some parts or if it's actually just a glare from the light. But let's just set that aside and get some other pieces painted while that's drying, and we'll start gluing things down. I'm going to put a glove on my left hand here. I'll get black all over myself, and we'll start painting. Let me pause you. I'm going to bring you down a little further. Okay, that's better. Let's see what, we're just going to get some texture from this. There's pretty much all I can say, but those gears are glued down. And we'll just paint what we can before we glue it. That's just texture. Because that was really kind of an ugly piece of diamond dotting, actually. Let's get rid of that color. Now, I don't have any rub and buff. I don't believe. What I know I had has dried up. I could possibly just cut open the tube and get some of it out that way. I guess we'll check it out. That bronze is showing a little bit, but I thought about, you know, rough and buff, or actually we might just take some micas and see how that works on some of these pieces. Now this is going to be a different black. This is what I used with the resin. Let's see how that holds paint. So I'm thinking if it holds paint, it'll hold the powders or rub better. We'll just have to see, because it's pretty glossy. It's taking the paint, but I hope it doesn't chip off. Might have to go over the entire piece with polyurethane varnish, my wood varnish, and seal all the paint in, but I guess we'll see. How many times do I say I guess we'll see, or let's see? Let's just get some of these covered up. This says absolutely unique. Put that over there. I'm gonna glue these down first before I paint them. Now remember, we glued all this together. See how well this soft resin takes paint, but that'll be pretty good. I'm gonna have to get in there the little grooves though. Okay, I have everything done now, and if it was warmer outside, I actually would have spray painted these. There's some pieces that need a little touch up. Let's move these out of the way and try to get this put together. Still got my paint handy, and let's see if this is too into your face here. I might have to raise you up. Yes, hold on, let me raise you up a little bit. Okay, let's pardon the glare. I want to first of all get these corner pieces glued in, so let me bring this, we'll just go this way. Get these corner pieces put in, and we can put this together. Oh, I like that. I'm going to have to use more of that paste. So here's the E6000 Premium. It's got a pointy nozzle on it. I have to make sure it just doesn't start oozing out on me, because it's a pretty new tube. Get a few dollops here. Where's my paint thing? I'm gonna leave that there. Might just get a little on the little tray here and close that up, and smear this around. Let's grab a, pardon my reach. Oh, I've got a micro brush here. Let's just spread that around a little bit. Get these put down. I said before, what oozes out I can pick off. And now this canvas is obviously not high quality. One of the corners was rather bent, so I was hoping I could cover it with some of these so it wasn't so obvious. Get that there. Let's go to this side. Grab another one. I did put some glue on this lid I used for painting. I'm going to need more. This dries pretty quick. It gets rubbery at first. Then it is a real secure hold. I do have the mufflers handy in case we want to lift something again. So here's our top. Move you out of the way, I'll have it everywhere. Stay put. All right, now let's start with this piece here. Oh, that's going to take quite a bit of glue. That was pretty tricky. I still see a little bit of purple in here. I'm going to have to get more paint in. But let's see if I can do a fairly neat job with that. I should put, let me move that aside to get the glue on here. Well, there's a straight edge there. Let's get glue there. Down there. Try to go around the little indents here. Yeah, I don't know why this resin didn't cure when I did this pour. I did 2 dragon books, notebooks, and they did not cure. So I have quite a bit of glue. Not glue, quite a bit of these resin pieces left, but the plan is to somehow use them up. Get a little in there, let's see, on this edge. It's not the neatest job, is it? I want to get it down before it starts to set. I want it down really well. I don't want things popping up or popping off. I think once this is complete, I might just take some polyurethane spray varnish, and I might use a matte so it's not so shiny. Just cover the whole piece. There. Okay, I think we should be good. Where's the lid? I don't see it. I covered it up. All right, now we had this marked right up to that edge there. The edge of that corner. Let's make sure it's straight. Pull it down a little bit. I think I'm going to put a piece of wood in the back of this too. See how it's really floppy there on the inside middle part. This has too much paint goobers on it. I'd have to do something different there. I think that's pretty straight. Okay, there's my lid. Now let's get the compass. And it's going to fit right in that angle, hopefully. Let me get a popsicle stick here. Can you see where I am? I know there's a glare, and I apologize. It's my overhead light. I'll come right to the edge. I think I want some more, just to be sure. Especially right around here. Just get it right to the edge because there's a little lip. I tried to sand the lip off. Okay, let's see. North, northwest, northeast. Where's my north, south, north, south? Okay. Put that right in there. Does that look pretty straight? I don't think we needed to lift that up by any means. It's going to go right into that curve. I might press from underneath here. Okay. Oh. What else did we do? I'm going to scoot this up. We'll have to set the crow on again to see where that's going to go. So I had this piece too, and it came up to the curve by the corners. Can you see that bottom? Okay, you can see them right here. It's blending right in. Yeah, that paint took the shine off, so that's good. Looks straight to me. I'm just eyeballing here. All right. Huh. Where are you, Mr. Crow? Let's just set you in place. I'm going to put bumpers under him. I don't want to raise these too high either because, you know, then dust will collect. And it'd be really a bugger to clean. I guess unless you just took a vacuum to it. All right, how did I have you? I'm going to have to... Okay, there's where the branch went. I see. Do we have him lower? I thought we had him a little lower. We'll make some adjustments. But he's going to be the last to go down because I want him to stay that beautiful iridescent. And that's in the mold. And, you know, it's set up nice, but it's thin. I guess, actually, you just need to put a nail on the wall and just hang it from a gap there. Let's see what we can do. He's close to the sides, as close as I can get him. You know, I might take him out when we're ready to glue him down and use adhesive spray. And I can't do that in here, or I'd have it everywhere. That's hanging over too far. Oops. I think it's obviously crooked right there. Push it over. There we go. All right, let's see. And the blue flower. Do you think I should keep the blue flower blue? I really do want to keep the blue flower blue. Now, do I have to move him somehow to get that? I didn't mark where the blue flower is going to go. Somewhere in there like that. So, we'll get this figured out. And glue these pieces down. All right, I'll see you in just a few minutes. Well, no, I didn't. I forgot to glue this. Be right back, gee. Okay. As I was going to say, I've glued everything down except the flower and the crow. I found a few more keys. So I put a key up here in this corner. I put a key down here. And was that it? I think that was it. But you know, I'm looking at this and I love the top. I love the top with the texture and all the different pieces. But as I'm looking towards the bottom, I'm thinking, oh, that looks bare. It just looks bare in here because it's so flat. So I was wondering, what do I have that I can fill in just a little more space in this bottom here? So I was thinking, oh my, I have some tacks. I have some upholstery tacks. And if I can nip the hardest part off of here, which I need my bigger nippers for that, that's for sure. If I can nip that off, I can use these to fill in some of those gaps. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, yes, it'll come off. They'll come out. So now I'm thinking, let's get some tacks down here just to fill in some places. If I just did a few in groups or something, I wish I wouldn't have glued this down. I would have put some more texture on there. I did raise a few of these flowers. What else did I do? Still got to paint where the white is showing. And then get the crow and that flower down. And I'm second guessing, wondering if I should just paint this flower black and have the crow. But I do kind of like it there being colored. So I'm going to keep going. Whoops. And I'm going to put some of these tacks down here. Paint the tops of those. Just in some groups and fill in a little bit of these gaps. So until I'm done with that, I'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your day. And it shouldn't be but a minute for you. Okay, see you in a bit. Well, hello, I'm back now. This has been setting a couple of days. So I was able to get my pieces glued down, painted, and I added a few pieces. So let me show you what I added down here, because there's so much going on the top that this looked pretty naked, actually. And I didn't have a lot of room for adding big things. So let's see, what did I add? I went ahead and I added springs and some screws. Another little flower here. I did find a few more keys. This area here, I just used the thumbtacks, popped them in and painted them. I found a little clock. That was hard to paint, so I went over it with marker, but you still can't. The bronze is showing through. And, gosh, I think that's about all. Then I went ahead and I got the crow, and I put risers on areas of the crow that had space big enough for these bumpers. So then when it goes down, it will be raised a little bit, and we'll see that when we finish it up. But all those pieces fit around the crow, or the crow fits around them. It was not too hard to manipulate, but somewhat like that. But what I noticed, and thank you, my husband, he went and bought me some flat spray paint. So I'm going to go out to the shop and put the heater on and just use some Rust-Oleum flat black spray paint, because this is shiny here and I used the same paint, but this texture turned out shiny. You can see brush marks. This looks really dull here, so the color isn't, completely the same. So I'm hoping this flat black paint will eliminate that. And then what I also want to do is find a piece of wood that I can put in the middle here, because this bows a little bit, and I might have to add that later because I want to go ahead and spray this and let it dry. So until that is done, I will well, I guess we'll just have to wait. I'll wait with you together and be right back. Well, here it is, painted and dried, looking good. See a little spot there where it's not completely covered. I might take a marker. Let's just take a marker real quick. I know it's going to be shiny, but not as shiny as that piece of silver. I only did the one coat. Everything else looks good. There's a little bit of chrome showing in here. I also looked around in the shed and I found some pieces of this wood here, and it's not quite tight enough to to put on this canvas to secure it in. But I might keep looking for something else, or I might just Oh, I don't know. I might just glue this to the canvas. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, or maybe I won't do anything at all. So, what I've done is I have all these bumpers I put on the Crow. Now, I think I want to double this up, because if even this little, oh, what is it, a 16th, a little over 16th of an inch isn't going to raise this high enough compared to the other pieces, it still looks flat on the board. So I'm going to trust GM, because these are GM, oh my goodness, bumpers. And I painted those black around the edges, just like I did here with these. And I just used a permanent marker. So I want to trust 3M, and I'm just going to take these sticky side down, and I'm going to, rather than gluing, I think if both adhesives from one to the other will hold all of these bumpers in place. Now I'm taking a chance, but I think those aren't going to go anywhere, so I don't want to have to worry about gluing them on. I'll just stick these. Now I had 14 of them, and I put them where the wider spaces of the mold were, or the raven, crow, and they're dispersed pretty evenly. I think we're going to be okay here. I just didn't want it, you know, to show through on the other side. Let's get these labels off. Now these are initially glued. You watched me glue these bumpers down, so let's just double them up, okay? And then if I can put the glue on the tops of these before it dries and put it in place, we should be all right. Oh, my hands look terrible. I was working on something else today. I need some lotion. But anyway, okay. What is that saying? I digress. I didn't know what that meant for the longest time. That's why I never said it. And me and words. Okay, did I make a couple too many? Well, one over here. That's why. Hope they're all doubled up. Pretty much. Oh, I did a couple extra. That's all right. So there we go. Those I don't believe are going to go anywhere. So if I can, let's get the board, and I'll show you how I had tried very carefully to place these down to where nothing obstructs the crow. So very carefully, we're going to start, and I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on each one of these bumpers. And hopefully it doesn't, I'll get a nice little dollop on there. It shouldn't ease out too badly, because if it does, I'm not going to be able to get to it to get it off. But let's see how it goes. Cross your fingers for me. I think this is going to look pretty sweet. All right, here we go. Now let's flip it. And I think I've worked enough with this. To know where exactly I want this to go. I know there's a screw. Let me move you down here. There's a screw right here. That wing goes right between, okay? And we don't have much hangover. But I've got to clear this cog up top, clear that screw, clear the leaves, clear the skeleton. Oh yes, I think that's going to work good, standing up that high. A little bit of the tail. I'm not hitting anything, but Yes, I'm going to have to reinforce this bottom. Let's just press this down. I'll let this dry before I take photos, and maybe I can get a piece of plywood to fit right in here. That might be the ticket to make this stronger. Not plywood, some kind of heavy cardboard. I'll see what I can find. But that is down, okay? Oh my God, doesn't he look good? So we still need, see how that dips? Yeah. There's his eye. That turned out really good. I didn't have a yellow one, which would have been better. Oh, do I have a yellow one? Huh, I didn't see a yellow one. So I guess we're stuck with the brown one. So what I want to do, I want to dust this. Oh, now I see more gold showing through. I might have touched it too much. Let's just dab a little black on there. I lost my train of thought. Oh, we've got to glue the flower down. Now the flower I'm not going to raise, and it's going to sit right in there, and I'm not going to color it. I think it adds to the crow popping up. If this was just black, I don't think we'd it's okay, but I like it with the blue flower. I did paint the edge of that right there. So back to the glue. Let's get that put on, because I want to dust this. And I don't have wax. I don't have, well, the rub and buff is dried up, and I thought, oh, I could, open that tube up and see if there's anything left in there to spare. Of course, I didn't throw it away yet. But it's gonna ooze out. I'm gonna go a different route. I think I'm gonna try to brush mica powder on here to highlight it. Okay. Now here's a stick. Let's just smooth this out a little bit. Get right to the edges. And I think when I let this dry, I'm gonna put something on the inside, on the back, on the inside, to weigh these pieces down a bit so they'll be sure to stay. Now this glue has a potency to it. All right, here we go. There's a couple of bubble holes in this flower. I think that'll give it a little character. I want to go right, almost touching that foot. Well, I guess I can't. It's going to hang over just a little bit. It's hitting the skull. But see, I need something firm. Oh, it's hitting that cog too. Move it down a little, Billie. I messed up. Oh, okay, there. It found its spot for me. Dang it, there's glue. Let me see if I can wipe that out a little bit. Oh, I hope that's not too obvious. Probably is. I could go get the spray paint and spray a little down on something and brush it over this. I might have to. Let's see how it turns out. Okay, right there like that. Yes, darn. I might have to let this dry before I mica that, but I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. So let's not wait. Let's turn it this way so you can see. Now I'm hoping if I can just get some of this mica in a cup so I don't keep dipping it into the bottle. Let's see, I have a spoon. I normally have a spoon, which I probably put away because I'm starting to try to keep a neater area. But you know how that goes with being artsy crafty. This is the blue chameleon powder from Let's Resin. And it's probably the same blue I used when I colored the crow. I'll have to put the number of this video, the crow video, down in the description so you can see how that was actually made. It was pretty simple. I just mic it, and I'm just going to dip in there, tap, cross your fingers. I want to lightly just brush. Let's go over these. Which way should I go? That way? I want to just brighten up these words there. It says absolutely unique. And I really, oh, perfect. You really can't foresee that coming off, you know. Unless you submerge this in water. Let's go a little darker. Just get the tops of some pieces here. Because I think that's what you do with the rub and buff. How do you think that looks? Can you see? It's faint, but it's there. And if you don't like it, I can wait and get some rub and buff later. But this is what I want to do. I just want to brush the tops of some of these pieces. Give it a little shimmer. I might be a little more generous. Let's go around these letters here. Ooh. Yes, that's not going to go anywhere, is it? No, you'd really have to stand there and rub pretty hard to get that off. But this is my thought. And I'm going to say it's a raven. But the word crow comes easier. I think this is a really nice piece of art, if I do say so myself. Lighten up that star. I really think that's pretty cool. It's faint, but I guess depending on where it hangs, and we don't need a hanger on this, depending on where it's put in your home, I guess we'd see where the light would. Ooh, a little bit much. Got a little heavy-handed there. Let's just go over the tops. That's all I want to do. I could try to get some of that out. Actually, I could go in with the green and the purple too, but I think that might be a little much. I'm going to press harder with the brush and rub. Be a little... Put a little more pressure on it. It's a little thick right there, but what do you think? Should I keep going? I'm going to keep going. So I will take some stills of this, try to fix the back part. If not, I'll still finish the video and work on that, but maybe a good strong piece of cardboard or, oh, what's that, particle board? Something. Not particle board. Oh, if April was here, she'd tell me what it's called. So, this is my redone Raven. I hope you like it. This was a lot of fun to do. I think I'm going to try a little more mixed media because I have so many little things to use up. And this would be the best way to use up little things. And I've got some black spray paint now, or we could use any other color. So, quit babbling, Billy. Thank you so much for watching. Please check in the description box below. I've got quite a few discount links for a lot of Resiners products. Resiners, Resin, Let's Resin, Bond Crafters. For those of you who use resin, or some of you were woodworking, a little bone carving, just check it out. And I will put, I think this is number 120 or 220. No, probably 120. I'll put that in the description. So now I'm, how would you say it, Gert? Gert Creates. I'm waffling. I'm waffling. Thank you so much, everyone. Take good care. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.